Have you ever woken up in the morning with dry, tired, or blurry eyes, even after a full night of sleep? Or maybe you've been spending long hours in front of a screen and lately your vision just doesn't feel as sharp as it used to. If that sounds familiar, I want you to stay right here because what I'm about to share with you today could genuinely change the way you think about your eye health. And it starts with something as simple as what you eat before you go to bed at night. I'm a doctor, and I've spent years helping patients understand that the food on your plate is often more powerful than the prescription in your hand. And when it comes to your eyes specifically, most people are completely unaware of how much their nighttime nutrition affects what happens to their vision over time. We tend to think about eye health in terms of glasses, screen time, or maybe that annual eye exam we keep pushing off. But the truth is, your eyes are working hard every single moment of the day, processing light, managing moisture, filtering harmful rays, and they need very specific nutrients to do that job well, especially as we sleep and our body goes into repair mode. So today, I want to talk to you about one particular fruit, yes, just one, that I genuinely believe is one of the most powerful foods you can eat before bed if you care about protecting and improving your eye health. I'm going to tell you what it is, why it works, what the science actually says, and how you can easily add it to your evening routine starting tonight. But before I get into all of that, I want to ask you something. When was the last time you thought seriously about your eye health, not just reacting to a problem, but actually doing something proactive to protect your vision for the years ahead? Drop your answer in the comments below. I genuinely read them, and I love hearing from the people watching these videos. You can even tell me if you've been struggling with something specific: tired eyes, blurry vision, dryness, floaters, whatever it is, let me know because this conversation matters and your health matters. All right, let's get into it. Your eyes are, without any exaggeration, one of the most metabolically active organs in your entire body. Think about that for a second. Your retina, that thin layer of tissue at the back of your eye that converts light into the signals your brain reads as images, consumes more oxygen per unit of tissue than almost any other organ, including your brain. That level of activity means your eyes have enormous nutritional demands. They need antioxidants to fight off oxidative stress. They need specific vitamins and compounds to maintain the integrity of their structure. And they need support for the tiny blood vessels that feed them, the tear film that keeps them moist, and the lens that focuses the light coming in. When we don't give the eyes what they need, things start to break down slowly and quietly. You might not notice anything dramatic at first, just a bit more eye fatigue, a little more sensitivity to light, maybe your glasses prescription creeping up year after year. But over time, nutritional deficiencies in the eye can contribute to serious conditions like macular degeneration, cataracts, dry eye syndrome, and even diabetic retinopathy in people who are managing blood sugar issues. So, when I tell you that what you eat before bed has a meaningful impact on your eyes, I'm not exaggerating for the sake of a catchy video. I genuinely mean it. And here's why nighttime in particular is so important. When you sleep, your body shifts into deep repair mode. Your immune system ramps up. Your cells regenerate. Your brain flushes out waste products. And your eyes, which have been working nonstop all day, go through their own nightly recovery process. The retinal cells replenish their photosensitive pigments. The cornea gets a chance to hydrate and heal any micro damage from light exposure or screen use. The optic nerve and the surrounding tissues repair and refresh. All of this happens while you sleep, and all of it is powered by the nutrients circulating in your bloodstream. So if you go to bed having eaten something that actively supports eye repair and recovery, you're giving your body an incredible advantage. You're essentially fueling the night shift crew that keeps your vision healthy. Now, with all of that context in mind, let me tell you about the fruit I want to highlight today. The fruit is the bilberry. And if you haven't heard of it, don't worry. Most people haven't, at least not in the context of their regular diet. But this small, dark, wild berry native to Northern Europe has one of the most impressive and well documented histories of any food when it comes to eye health. And the science behind it is genuinely exciting. Bilberries are closely related to blueberries. They look similar and they're in the same botanical family. but they have some distinct differences that make them particularly special for your eyes. While a blueberry has white or light green flesh on the inside, a bilberry is dark purple all the way through. That matters because that deep purple pigment throughout the entire fruit reflects an extraordinarily high concentration of a compound called anthocyanins. And anthocyanins are where the real magic happens. Anthocyanins are a type of flavonoid, a class of plant based compounds with powerful antioxidant and anti inflammatory effects. But they do something especially remarkable in the eye. They have a specific affinity for the retinal tissue, meaning they actively concentrate in the retina when you consume them. And once there, they support a process that is absolutely essential to your vision, especially in low light or after a long day of screen use. Here's the mechanism, and I want to explain this clearly because I think it's one of the most fascinating things about how your eyes work. Your retina contains two types of photoreceptors: rods and cones. Cones handle color and sharp central vision. Rods handle peripheral vision and vision in low light. For your rod cells to function, they rely on a molecule called rhodopsin, also known as visual purple. Rhodopsin is a light sensitive pigment that literally bleaches when it absorbs light. That's how your eye detects visual information. After being bleached by light, rhodopsin has to be regenerated so your eye can keep seeing. This regeneration process is what allows your eyes to adapt to darkness, and it's also what determines how quickly and how well your eyes recover after being exposed to bright light or screens all day. Now, here's where bilberries become extraordinary. Research, going back decades and continuing right up to today, has shown that the anthocyanins in bilberries actively accelerate the regeneration of rhodopsin. In fact, the connection between bilberries and night vision became famous during World War II, when British Royal Air Force pilots reportedly ate bilberry jam before nighttime missions, claiming it improved their ability to see in the dark. While some historians have debated the precise details of that story, the underlying science has since been validated repeatedly in clinical studies. The anthocyanins in bilberries genuinely do support rhodopsin synthesis, which means they help your eyes recover faster, adapt to changing light conditions more effectively, and maintain better visual acuity, especially after prolonged strain. And this is why eating bilberries or a product made from bilberry extract before bed is such a smart idea. When you go to sleep, your rod cells are in full rhodopsin regeneration mode. By giving your body a concentrated source of anthocyanins right before that overnight repair process begins, you are essentially providing the raw materials your retina needs to rebuild and refresh its visual pigments while you rest. You wake up with eyes that have had a truly restorative night, not just rested in terms of being closed, but genuinely replenished at a biochemical level. But the benefits of bilberries for eye health don't stop there, and I want to make sure you understand the full picture because it's really quite remarkable. Bilberries are also powerful supporters of the tiny capillaries that supply blood to the retina and optic nerve. These blood vessels are among the smallest in the human body, and they're extraordinarily sensitive to damage from oxidative stress, inflammation, and elevated blood sugar. One of the main reasons conditions like diabetic retinopathy and age related macular degeneration are so damaging to vision is that they destroy or block these tiny retinal blood vessels, cutting off the oxygen and nutrient supply that the retina depends on. The anthocyanins and other flavonoids in bilberries have been shown in multiple studies to strengthen capillary walls, reduce vascular permeability, and improve microcirculation in retinal tissue. In simpler terms, they help keep the blood vessels feeding your eyes healthy, strong, and functioning properly. That is enormous for long term vision protection. There's also significant research on bilberries and their role in reducing intraocular pressure, the fluid pressure inside the eye that, when elevated, is one of the primary risk factors for glaucoma. Glaucoma is one of the leading causes of irreversible blindness worldwide, and for many people, it progresses silently for years before it's detected. While bilberries are absolutely not a treatment for glaucoma, and I am not suggesting they replace any medical treatment, some studies have indicated that regular consumption of anthocyanin rich foods like bilberries may contribute to healthier intraocular pressure levels over time, likely through their effects on vascular health and fluid regulation. It's one more reason why building this fruit into your routine is a genuinely meaningful choice. Now, let me also address the issue of oxidative stress because this is at the root of so many eye diseases, and it's something that bilberries address more directly and powerfully than almost any other food. Your eyes are exposed to more oxidative stress than most organs in your body. Ultraviolet radiation from sunlight, high energy visible light from digital screens, metabolic byproducts from the retina's intense energy consumption, all of these generate free radicals that can damage the delicate structures of your eye over time. The lens of your eye, for example, is extremely vulnerable to oxidative damage. When the proteins in the lens become oxidized and misfolded over years of exposure, they clump together and scatter light. And that is exactly how cataracts form. The macula, the central part of your retina responsible for your sharpest vision, is similarly vulnerable. Oxidative damage to the macular pigment over time leads to age related macular degeneration, which is currently the leading cause of vision loss in people over 50 in developed countries. Bilberries contain not only anthocyanins, but also vitamin C, vitamin E, and a range of other antioxidant compounds that work together synergistically to neutralize free radicals throughout the eye. Eating bilberries regularly is like giving your eyes a daily antioxidant shield, one that specifically targets the retina, the lens, and the macula where protection is most needed. And consuming them at night, before your body's natural repair cycle kicks in, means those antioxidants are circulating at high levels exactly when your eye tissue is doing its most active regenerating. I also want to mention something that affects a huge number of people today, but often doesn't get enough attention in the context of nutrition, and that is digital eye strain. If you're spending hours a day looking at a phone, tablet, computer, or television screen, and honestly, who isn't these days, your eyes are being subjected to a constant barrage of high energy blue light and the fatigue that comes from prolonged near focus work. Symptoms of digital eye strain include dry eyes, blurry vision, headaches, neck tension, and a burning or tired sensation in the eyes by the end of the day. Bilberries have been studied specifically in the context of visual fatigue from screen use, and the results are encouraging. Several clinical trials, particularly from Japanese and Korean researchers who have been studying bilberry extract extensively over the past 2 decades, have found that anthocyanin supplementation from bilberries significantly reduces symptoms of eye fatigue in people who use screens for extended periods. Study participants reported less eye pain, better visual clarity, reduced dryness, and faster recovery of visual focus after screen use. That's directly relevant to the lives most of us are living right now. So, how do you actually get bilberries into your diet? This is where I want to be practical with you because I know that most people watching this are not going to be foraging for wild bilberries in the forests of Scandinavia. Let me give you some realistic options. Fresh or frozen bilberries are available in many health food stores and online, and if you can get them, they are wonderful. They taste somewhat like a more intense, slightly tart version of a blueberry, and they're delicious eaten plain, added to yogurt, blended into a smoothie, or stirred into oatmeal. If fresh or frozen bilberries aren't available to you, dried bilberries are another excellent option. Just be mindful of portion sizes since the sugar concentration is higher in dried fruit. A small handful about 30 to 45 minutes before bed is a very reasonable and effective approach. Bilberry extract supplements are also widely available and have been used extensively in clinical research. Many of the studies I've mentioned today used standardized bilberry extract, typically standardized to contain a certain percentage of anthocyanins rather than the whole fruit. If you're going to use a supplement, look for one that specifies its anthocyanin content and comes from a reputable source. As always, if you're on any medications or managing a health condition, please check with your own doctor before starting any new supplement because anthocyanins can interact with blood thinners and some other medications in ways that are worth being aware of. I also want to mention that while bilberries are my focus today because of their particularly concentrated anthocyanin content and their specific research record for eye health, other dark berries, blueberries, blackberries, black currants, and dark cherries also contain meaningful amounts of anthocyanins and are worth including in your regular diet. They won't necessarily replicate everything that bilberries offer in terms of their specific concentration and documented effects on rhodopsin and retinal circulation, but they are all genuinely beneficial for your eyes and your overall health. So, if bilberries are hard to find where you are, don't let that stop you from eating the other dark berries regularly. Every step in the right direction matters. Now, I want to spend a moment talking about something that I feel is really important to address honestly, because I respect you and I want to give you a complete picture. Eating bilberries before bed, or any single food for that matter, is not going to cure eye disease, restore lost vision, or replace necessary medical treatment. If you're experiencing significant vision changes, eye pain, sudden floaters, flashes of light, or any other concerning symptoms, please see an eye care professional. Those are not things to manage with diet alone. What I am telling you is that nutrition plays a profoundly underappreciated role in the long term health of your eyes, and that consistently providing your eyes with the right nutrients, especially antioxidants and compounds like the anthocyanins in bilberries, can meaningfully reduce your risk of developing serious eye conditions, support your eye's natural repair processes, and help you maintain better vision quality as you age. That is not a small thing. That is genuinely important preventive medicine, and it's something that is completely within your control starting today. Think about it this way: every night when you go to bed, your body is making decisions about what to repair, what to regenerate, and how well it can do that work. And those decisions are heavily influenced by the nutritional resources you've given it. If you go to bed having eaten a handful of bilberries or taken a bilberry supplement, you are specifically equipping your retinal cells with the anthocyanins they need to regenerate rhodopsin efficiently. You are giving your retinal capillaries the flavonoids they need to stay strong and permeable. You are flooding your lens and macular tissue with antioxidants at the exact moment your body's repair mechanisms are most active. That is a profound act of self care, and it costs you almost nothing. I've had patients in my practice who have made simple, consistent nutritional changes, adding dark berries to their evening routine, reducing ultra processed foods that drive inflammation, making sure they're getting enough lutein and zeaxanthin from leafy greens, and they've come back to tell me that their eyes feel noticeably better, less fatigue, less dryness, better adaptation to light. In some cases, their optometrist has noted improvements in the health of their retinal tissue at follow up exams. Nutrition is not a miracle drug, but it is a real evidence based tool for protecting and supporting your health, and your eyes are no exception. Before I wrap up, I want to briefly touch on a few complementary things you can do alongside eating bilberries to really give your eyes the best possible environment for nighttime recovery. These are small habits, but they compound beautifully over time. First, reduce blue light exposure in the hour before bed. This is relevant both to your sleep quality and your eye health. Blue light in the evening suppresses melatonin production, which already affects how restorative your sleep is, and it continues to stimulate your photoreceptors at a time when they'd benefit from winding down. Use blue light filtering on your devices, or simply put the screens away earlier. Your eyes will thank you. Second, make sure you're adequately hydrated throughout the day. Dry eye syndrome is an incredibly common and uncomfortable condition, and chronic low grade dehydration is a contributing factor that many people overlook. When you're well hydrated, your tear film is more stable, your eyes are more comfortable, and the cellular repair processes that happen during sleep have the fluid environment they need to work properly. Third, consider whether you're getting enough lutein and zeaxanthin in your diet. These are two carotenoid compounds found in foods like kale, spinach, eggs, and corn that concentrate specifically in the macula and act as a kind of internal sunscreen for your central retina. Research on lutein and zeaxanthin for macular health is extremely robust, and combining these nutrients with the anthocyanins from bilberries gives your eyes a truly comprehensive protective strategy. And finally, prioritize sleep itself. This might sound obvious, but genuine high quality sleep, 7 to 9 hours for most adults, is when all of this nutritional investment pays off. It's during deep sleep that growth hormone peaks and cellular repair is most intense. Consistently shortchanging your sleep is consistently shortchanging your eye's ability to recover no matter what you eat. So give your body the time it needs to do its work. I hope this has been genuinely useful for you today. I hope you feel empowered, not overwhelmed, because what I've described is so simple: a handful of bilberries, an evening ritual, a small but meaningful choice that tells your body, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to give you what you need. And your eyes, over weeks and months and years of that consistent care, will show you the difference. If you found value in this video, please share it with someone you care about: a parent, a partner, a friend who spends too much time on screens and complains about tired eyes. This information could genuinely make a difference in their life, and sharing good health information is one of the kindest things you can do for the people around you. Don't forget to leave a comment below telling me about your eye health journey or asking any questions you have. I read the comments, I care about your questions, and your experiences help me understand what topics matter most to you. If you want more videos like this, evidence based, practical, and focused on helping you take real control of your health, make sure you're subscribed because I have so much more to share with you. Your vision is worth protecting, and you have more power to do that than you might think. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.